everybody, Arachne Queen here, and I know it's been forever since I've said hello to you, but I figured if I'm going to post a video, it's going to be a big one, and this one is. So the amazing and wonderful DeadlyTarantulaGirl emailed me and asked if I would be interested in one of her Avicularia versicolors. I said yes, and the box arrived, and imagine my surprise when I found not one, but 4 tarantulas in there. 3 baby Avicularia versicolors, and 1 Brachypelma smithy baby. Now, I have all of this set up down here, and I need to house them because they're still in the little containers they were shipped in. Mind you, without all the padding. So, I have these different Tupperware containers that I've set up. You can buy these anywhere, and this is what's nice about tarantulas. They do not require fancy setups. These are just Tupperware containers, and for the Versies, since they are tiny right now, I chose a smaller container, and you want to make sure that you have more height than you do area size, because they climb. They're arboreal. Now for the Brachypelma, I have this one here, and it has more area space because they're a terrestrial species. But once again, more dirt than high up space, because you want to remember that they're fragile, and you have to think, if it fell from this height, could it kill it? The answer is no. So we have our lids here with our air holes poked in, and they're all labeled and everything. So let's get our first baby. So we're going to start first with the Brachypelma smithy, whom we have named Nimhe from the Elder Scrolls series. So in case you didn't know, this is a baby tarantula. Isn't she tiny? Now I do not know if any of these are male or female. I usually just refer to them all as she. But it'll be a while before we find out. So let's get her out. I'm just going to use a straw to very gently. I'm going to put that in there. Now, I have to admit, when she first arrived, I thought she was dead because brackies just don't move much. And that remains true. Come on out. There she goes. There's little Nimhe. Aw, she's happy with that dirt. So she is going to be able to grow into this enclosure just fine. And I made sure there's nothing hard in here that can hurt her in any way. And she'll be able to just kind of poke around, move around, or not move at all because she's a Brachypelma. So we'll go ahead and put her lid on. And every time I open this, I will be careful each time so that I know that I'm not going to hurt her. And now she's happily in her new enclosure. Right there, she's waving. Now since she's a Brachypelma, her soil will mostly stay dry. I'll occasionally wetten it, but she's not really much of a tropical species, so she'll stay dry. Next we have Voodoo. The versicolors are named Voodoo, Hoodoo, and Juju, respectively. And this one's little Voodoo. Now as you can see, she's been quite the avid little webber already. She has been my most active one, and getting her out will be fun, just with all this web she's laid down. I feel terrible to destroy it, but gotta get her out into her new home. Now, Versies are considerably more active and fast-moving than Brackies usually are. I know this little one and her siblings all ran around my hand. She is not enjoying this. You're okay, honey. Oh, she's getting wrapped up in her own web. Come on. You're okay. They're so fragile and so tiny, you gotta be careful. Come on. Get that web out of there. Good gravy. Little girl. Okay, let's see if we can get her onto my hand. Get a good look at her. These girls are beautiful. They're the characteristic blue color. Now that color is not going to stay. It will change as she molts and grows. But they call these babies blueberries for a reason. Now, the thing with Versies is they will always try to find higher ground. So we're gonna let her go in here. No. There we go, honey. That's a good voodoo. Alright, we'll quickly put the lid on because she'll promptly try to crawl out. So there's little Voodoo in her happy little enclosure that's still labeled from the store. Oh, here she is. She's on the side over here. She'll probably quickly start climbing up to the top, and I wouldn't be surprised if I see web in there tonight. Alright, next is Hoodoo. She is my shyest girl and my least active. She has some web in there. Come on out. You're okay, honey. Oh, you're okay, sweetie. There you go. No, not on me. Look at that baby girl. Now, I do not have big hands, so you can kind of get an idea for how tiny these babies are. It's so funny how they do almost an over-exaggerated walk when they're babies. Come on, honey. There you go. That's a good girl. So there's little Hoodoo in her new home. Next, last but not least, is little Juju. Juju's been moderately active. She hasn't laid too much web, but she's stayed pretty much up there the entire time. You can see her tiny little fangs right there. So tiny. And her little book lungs and everything. So let's see if we can get her out. Oh, you're okay. Oh, come on. There we go. Holy cow, we have our Spav Master. Alright, let's get that lid on her before. Let's get that lid on her. So there's Juju in her new home. So as I said, it was DeadlyTarantulaGirl who sent me these beautiful babies. And I will be putting a link to her channel in my description. She's amazing. And thank you so much once again to her for these beautiful babies. I will be giving updates, of course, on my big addition to our tarantula family. I'll be updating more regularly now that my craziness is over. And I will catch you guys next time.